Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's December 23rd, 2020. And today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the markets are already getting in the holiday mood. Okay, you're seeing the markets actually tapering off. And looking at the markets, no major economic events scheduled for today. But as we look at the Forex symbols, pretty much tapering off versus the US dollar. We're going to take a look at it. Nothing really major happened yesterday. In terms of the indices, the Dow Jones weakens, the NASDAQ still strong as some of the components actually continue to rally. Now looking at commodities, gold pretty much unchanged while oil rallies above $47. That's a really great rally for oil. And looking at the stocks, Facebook sells off while Apple continues to be strong. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, still very strong. So the markets are consolidating. So just be aware of it. You might want to take a little bit lighter trading this week as we're going into Christmas holiday and the New Year's holiday. Generally a very quiet day for the session. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trade. So I'm going to first take a look at the EURUSD at a 30-minute chart. And we actually did have some decent activity in the EURUSD. We did retrace about 100 pips and then finding ourselves bouncing off of it about 30 pips. And we're pretty much, close to where we were yesterday. We were trading at 22.19. We did look like it was going to rally and break it out higher. This was the bull flag that we were talking about the previous day. And it did look like it was going to go. And then it didn't. And at that point, that's really your cue to let you know that this is not going and maybe you should take it off the long position. And sure enough, we did sell off quite aggressively. And you can see we're back to our 2160-ish level, so nothing really to write home about, okay? Just basically just a pump and dump kind of situation and then unchanged. Looking at the GBPUSD, pretty much the same thing. It's not been changed so much, a little bit stronger than the euro is to the USD. Okay. Now, lastly, looking at the Aussie USD, also same story, a little bit stronger versus the USD. So if this does break out on the upside 75.80-ish level, we could see it rally back to the 70.98-ish level. Okay. Could be something that will develop today. Now, looking at gold, nothing happening. All right. We retraced down to 1867 and really just flirting with that area yesterday to today. So with that said, okay, if we do break above 1870, then that's maybe something to be interesting as a second rally for gold. Looking at oil, we did rally up from 46.25 up to 47.77. A decent rally yesterday, but very choppy market. Okay, it's been kind of hard to trade these type of markets because ultimately they do come against you. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, all right, look at this. All right, this is really, I can't stress this enough. This is really a very tight range. All said and done, we're in a 300-point range. Okay, for the Dow Jones, that's quite a tight range. Now we are down this morning. Just to give us a perspective, let's look at a 30-minute chart. We are down just slightly, 29,878, just below that 29,900-ish level. Okay, every time we hit 3,100, we'd sell off. Every time we hit 29,400, we go higher. Okay, even higher than that at 29,742. So the markets are really still trading in a range, and I expect them to continue trading in a range unless there's some sort of news event that catalyst like we had on Monday, where there's a second strand to the pandemic that's developing in the UK, and the markets kind of reacted to that. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, we're still strong here. 12,700-ish level and not retracing either. Okay, so something to consider here. If this does take it up on the upside, it might be something that gets interesting if it does break above 12,700. Now, there's no day after Christmas. Usually the day after Christmas or Christmas Eve, the markets do rally. So with that said, we may just have a rally going into the end of the session today to tomorrow. So I don't want to call it already, but if we look at Apple, it's been very strong, okay? Above this 129 after gapping up with some news, okay, that is going to come up with a car. I don't like to trade the news, okay, just because you don't know how to interpret the news, but I do know how to trade the markets and trade technicals. And so I'm using this 129 as a support. 132, obviously, my resistance-ish level, historic resistance-ish level. And can't see it in this graph, but after we did a 4-to-1 split in Apple. This is its high. 132 is its all-time high. So the stock is really close to its all-time highs, very strong. So I do expect a little bit of a push on the upside later today. Now, on the flip side, Facebook actually, just conked out, all right, on the bottom of that range after it, topped out at 276, is trading at 265 right now, but right off of its support at 263. So something to consider here, as this may get some oomph on the upside. Looking at JP Morgan, really weak here, okay, trading into this 121.66-ish level. So you see that this balance is still happening in the markets. Now, jumping lastly at Bitcoin, and this is really important. This thing is still very strong, okay, hovering about that 24,000 on its all-time highs. So if it does look like it's going to consolidate and start taking out 24,085-ish level, that would be interesting to get into that as that breaks out higher. Possibly, okay? I'm just pausing that because that has happened in the past going into the end of the year. And we only have the historical charts that we have for Bitcoin. So something to consider going into today. So there could be a couple of moves today, okay? Certainly going into the end of the year, next week, we'll have a few more moves, okay? But just realize that this is lighter trading, as most of the type of businesses, the major funds, are already on vacation mode. So I don't expect too much craziness to happen in the market altogether. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.